There we go. Okay, we are good to go. Welcome everyone to Women's Health and Hormones. I am so excited that you're here this morning with me. For those of you over on Facebook, if you're just popping on to see what this is all about, I will give you a really quick sneak peek. Hopefully you will stick around. So to balance your hormones and feel your best, you need to work on 5 things. And we're going to be talking about these throughout this presentation this morning. But again, I wanted to give you a sneak peek just to give you a teaser. So the first thing we're going to need to work on, and these 5 things are for health in general, but we need to work on balanced nutrition with an emphasis on anti-inflammatory foods. That's number 1. Number 2, daily movement. Now, notice I didn't say exercise, I said movement, and I'll explain more on that when we get to that portion of the class. Number 3, stress management. If you're taking notes, underline this, highlight it, and really make it stand out. When it comes to women's health and hormones, stress management is number 1. Okay. Next, we have proper rest. Kristen Kalimba or 2 others. Just mute everybody. Okay, perfect. What else is mute? I can't seem to, I don't have control over the mute function today. If everybody can just make sure that you're muted, that would be awesome. Okay, so number 4 is proper rest. Okay, rest is equally important when it comes to women's health. And then number 5 is reducing your overall toxic load. Okay, and we're going to walk through all of these in more detail later. Now it says my internet connection is unstable. Hopefully I'm not going to freeze up throughout this presentation. If I do, I will record it and post it. So if you want more information on all of these, stick around because like I said, we're going to break them down. So really quickly, before we dive into our topic, I want to take just a minute to introduce myself. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Natalie Mallia, and really all I want to share this morning for the sake of this presentation is that I am a PCOS warrior. Now, PCOS is a women's hormonal disorder. It's something I was diagnosed with at a pretty young age of 16. And for over 20 years, I struggled with the symptoms of this disorder. Okay, my doctor at the time told me there was nothing that I could do. I would just have to learn to live with it. And so that's what I did. So if nothing else today, I want you to leave here knowing that there's always something that you can do. And sometimes that means you have to search for answers on your own and become your own best health advocate. Okay, but it's important that you know there's always something that you can do. So as we move through this presentation, please feel free to use the chat feature here in Zoom and over on Facebook as your questions come up. I will address them at appropriate times, and we're going to do an official Q&A at the end of this. But if something pops up and you don't want to forget it, go ahead and type it in, and then I'll come back to it either during this presentation or afterwards on Facebook. So let me start off by asking you this. Are you struggling with any of the following? Stubborn weight gain, poor memory and focus, thyroid issues, mood swings, trouble sleeping? If you answered yes to one or more of these, then you are in the right place today. All of these issues could be linked to hormonal imbalances. And what we're going to cover today will teach you that these issues are not a normal part of womanhood. But because so many of us struggle with them, they have become normalized. Okay, so I'm going to repeat that because I think this is important. Just because so many of us struggle with these does not make them a normal part of womanhood. I'm going to teach you today that, like I said already, that there's always something you can do to support your body. Will it resolve your issues 100%? I can't promise that. But what I can promise is that there's always something you can do. Okay, I think that's so vital that we know that, because as someone who struggled for 20 years thinking there wasn't something I could do, it is so empowering to know that there are things that we can try. So grab a pen and paper if you haven't already. At the end of this presentation, I'm going to tell you what to do to get started on your path to hormonal balance. Now, one thing I want to mention here is that your path, your journey may not be a quick one. If you're like me and if you've been living with this for a couple of decades, it's going to take months for you to really start seeing amazing results. We have to give ourselves 1 month for every year that we've lived with something. That's kind of a rule of thumb. Sometimes things resolve quicker, sometimes it takes longer. But I just want you to know that we can't use an oil once and expect it to work wonders. We can't take a supplement for a week and expect all of our issues to go away. Okay, we have to give it time and we have to look at lifestyle. So I'll take this opportunity too, while you grab your pen and paper, to say that if at the end of this class you feel overwhelmed, I want you to know two things. Number one, that's totally normal. We're going to cover a lot of information in a short time. I'm going to be talking about products and essential oils that can support you. And by the end, you may not remember half of what I said, and that's okay. That brings me to number two. We're here to help guide you. Lean on us and our experience to help you come up with your first 30, 60, and 90-day plan. Okay, so just come back to us. We're so happy to help you. So when it comes to women's health, there are two body systems that we really need to look at and familiarize ourselves with. So first up is our endocrine system. So who here remembers the function of the endocrine system? You don't actually have to answer because I'm going to tell you what it is. The endocrine system is a network of glands in your body that make hormones that help cells talk to each other. Okay, they're responsible for almost every cell, organ, and function in your body. So when we're talking about women's health, would you agree that the endocrine system is vital for us to look at? Yes, right? So let's look at the organs really quickly that make up this system and how we can best support them. Now, what I'm going to encourage you to do is take a quick screenshot of this image, because all of the products I'm going to talk to you about are listed on here and how to take them. Okay, then you don't have to wonder, what was it that she said? You'll have it on your phone. We're also going to be working top down. Your graphic on your screen is working from the bottom up. I like to work from the top down. So we're going to start at the thyroid. If you have a thyroid disorder, please note that that hope is not lost. Again, there's a lot we can do through nutrition and lifestyle adjustments. There are also essential oils that have been shown to help support a healthy thyroid function. And there is an amazing blend I'm going to tell you about. In a 10 milliliter roller, you're going to add 10 drops each of clove, myrrh, frankincense, and lemongrass. Okay, you're going to top that up with fractionated coconut oil and apply it to the thyroid area, which is on the bottom of your throat right here. And you're going to do that 3 times a day. Now, again, remember with essential oils, consistency is super important. If you want to truly see results, you're going to have to consistently apply your oils to your thyroid. Okay, and I personally know people who have had amazing results using this blend. Next, we're going to look at the adrenals. Your adrenal glands are small glands located on top of each kidney. And you can see on the graphic on your screen, they kind of give you the location of these glands and organs. They produce hormones that you can't live without, including your sex hormones and cortisol. Now, cortisol helps you respond to stress and has many other important functions. But one thing I want to mention here about cortisol is that this may be part of the reason why you're struggling to lose weight. Okay, especially if you live in a chronic state of stress and if you're working out really, really hard in the gym. Believe it or not, hard workouts can actually cause a lot of stress in your body. And if you're already overburdened and stressed, this will actually have the opposite effect of what you're looking for. If you're on a weight loss journey and you're working out like crazy in the gym, but you're not losing weight, it may be time to adjust your workout. Okay, let's move on. Do I have something for the adrenals here? Yes. How do we support the adrenals? Nutrition, rest, and stress management are key. You're going to keep hearing this throughout this presentation. Nutrition, rest, and stress management. Now we have Magnolia. Magnolia is a gorgeous, gorgeous flower oil. And this one supports your adrenals. So Magnolia comes in a roller bottle. And what you're going to do is you're going to roll your Magnolia right on your, can I see, here we go, right on your hand, okay, on one side. You're going to rub your hands together. And then you're going to reach back right underneath your rib cage. And you're going to do this twice a day. Okay, and this is an easy way that you can support your adrenals every single day. Another product that you can use is our Mito 2 Max, which is our energy and stamina complex. This is a fabulous supplement for so many different reasons. It's not a stimulant. It's 100% natural, no caffeine. Okay, and this one has properties in it that are so supportive to your adrenals. So if you're struggling with adrenal fatigue, Mito 2 Max is something you want to add to your toolbox. Next up, we have our pancreas. Your pancreas is a vital part of your digestive system and critical to controlling blood sugar. Your blood sugar levels are directly linked to estrogen and progesterone, so it is a vital part of this discussion today. Ever crave sugar or carbs right before your cycle? I do. Thank your hormones for that. So let's look at how we can support your pancreas. We have a blend called Smart and Sassy. In the US, it's called Slim and Sassy. And this is probably the best tool that we have for your pancreas. It supports healthy blood sugar, metabolism, and releases excess water, which is perfect for that time of the month. So if you don't love Smart and Sassy, if you don't love the taste of it, there are some people who don't like the combination of ginger and peppermint. You can put 3 to 5 drops in an empty veggie capsule, add a carrier oil, then you don't get that burnt back of the peppermint, and take that 3 times a day. Now, doTERRA does make a soft gel for us. I believe currently it's out of stock. So grab some veggie capsules and you can make it yourself. So last but not least, when we're talking about the endocrine system, we have to talk about the liver. The liver regulates the balance of sex hormones, your thyroid hormones, your cortisone, and other adrenal hormones. It transforms or removes any excess from your body. If the liver cannot do this properly, there's a risk of emotional imbalances. Okay, so let me just pause here because I want you to understand that the first key thing you need to do when you're looking to balance your hormones is to support your liver. Okay, healthy liver function is the foundation of hormonal balance. So how do we support this organ? Drink lots of water, okay? Along with your stress management, your nutrition, your rest, we need to drink a lot of water every single day for health in general. So the rule of thumb that I teach everyone is half of your body weight in ounces of water at minimum every single day. And if you need to work your way up to that, that's totally fine as long as you get there. Okay, so into your water, you can add lemon or Smart and Sassy to every glass. And then also use our Zendocrine soft gel once a day. Zendocrine has been designed to help support your body's natural detox process. So this will directly help your thyroid, and not your thyroid, your liver. Okay? All right, let's move on. Let me just change this here really quickly. Okay, so I mentioned that there are 2 key systems we need to look at for women's health. So obviously the other system is our reproductive system. Everything that we're talking about from this point on will support the system. If you're looking for an essential oil that you can use to support your reproductive system, we're going to be talking about Claricom at the end. So just pay attention to that when we get there. Okay, Claricom for your reproductive system is the perfect oil blend. So our female reproductive system includes the ovaries, fallopian tubes, uterus, cervix, external genitalia, and breasts, and works closely with other systems, especially your endocrine system. Okay, I hope this is all starting to make sense. Your ovaries secrete estrogen and progesterone, which are crucial for fertility, but also play a key role in a woman's emotional and physical health. And again, nutrition and hydration directly impact the production of these hormones. Okay, you're going to, like I said, you're going to hear a lot of repetition today because I want you to understand how important all of this is. So let's take a closer look at hormones. What are hormones? Hormones get a really bad rap. How many times have we complained about our hormones? I do probably on a daily basis, those darn hormones. But the truth of the matter is we need them for healthy living. We need to have our hormones. They're actually working for us. It's just when we have that imbalance that we have those side effects that we don't like. Hormones are chemicals that are produced by glands in the endocrine system. They travel through the bloodstream to the tissues and organs, delivering messages that tell the organs what to do and when to do it. So do you see why they're important? I'd want to mention too that both men and women have hormones, obviously, but they do differ from men to women. So today we're focusing on women's health specifically. We may run a men's health class in the future if there's an interest for that. Now, the female body makes and uses a vast array of hormones that affect everything from energy to weight to mood to fertility and more. But today we're focusing on the 2 key players in women's health, which is our estrogen and progesterone. So let's look at them a little bit closer. Estrogen plays an important role in managing your reproductive system, but it also protects your bones and helps your skin heal from bruises and injury. Okay, so it's a bit more than just your cycle. Then we have progesterone, which plays an important role in adrenal health, energy, fertility, ovulation, healthy bones, relaxation, libido, and it counterbalances your estrogen. Okay, so let's take a second to look at our women's natural cycle. This is what your cycle should look like. Okay. You can see that estrogen gradually rises in the first half of the month in preparation of ovulation, followed by an increase in progesterone just after ovulation. This is the ideal scenario for healthy hormone balance. Now, problems arise when estrogen becomes dominant, which is what we're going to talk about now. So just appreciate my graphic for a minute, because I'm going to tell you a really quick story. So where does estrogen dominance come from? In short, our environment, the foods we eat, the products we apply, the products that we apply to our skin, and so on. And we're going to look at that in a second as well. But I want to take this minute to tell you a story. I'm not a very science-minded person, but rather I'm very visual. So stories like this help me picture what is going on in our bodies. Now, don't worry, the story is only going to take a minute. I'm not going to be talking for an hour just on this. But there are three kinds of estrogen that we're going to talk about in this story. There's natural estrogen, which your body produces. And for this story, we're going to call this the quiet kid on the playground. Then we have xenoestrogens, and these are synthetic estrogen mimicking compounds that are found in our environment. And for our story, this is the bully. And then we have phytoestrogens, which in this story is going to be our superhero. And these are natural estrogens found in plants. They don't add more estrogen to the body. They actually help balance out your natural estrogen and progesterone. Okay. This is a really, really key point. When it comes to phytoestrogens, there's a lot of misconceptions. There's a lot of misinformation. So what I want you to remember is it helps to balance your hormones. It doesn't add more. Okay. So here's the story. We have cells floating around our bodies with fingers. These fingers represent our receptor sites. And they're sticking out looking for estrogen to bind to them. And they really don't care where that estrogen comes from. So imagine our naturally produced estrogen is that very quiet kid on the playground. And that quiet kid really, really wants to bind to those fingers. But along comes the bully, the xenoestrogen, and pushes that shy kid off of the fingers and takes root. And this is where your hormonal imbalance comes into play and where estrogen dominance comes from. Luckily for the shy kid, there's a superhero at the playground, which is our phytoestrogen, which helps give that xenoestrogen, the bully, the boot, so our natural estrogen can once again bind to those receptors. Okay, so I hope that helps. The first time I taught a class like this, I was confused by the end of it. So hopefully this quick story helps you determine in your mind the difference between the three estrogens. So let's talk a little bit more about xenoestrogens and where they're found, because you're going to be shocked at all of the places that we are exposed to these estrogen mimicking compounds. So first thing on the list is water, your tap water, okay? You need to start using a water filter. I teach this to all of my sugar detoxers and other groups that I run. We have to use filtered water, okay? There's so many things that are left in your water that you just don't want to be exposed to. Then we have our cleaning products. This is why we teach our green cleaning classes and non-toxic living, because it's so, so important, especially for your women's health, but also for your kids, for everybody. I mean, we can't really start singling people out. Personal care products like your shampoos, deodorants, moisturizers, body washes, perfumes, okay? Lots and lots of places where these xenoestrogens are found in. So how do we counterbalance this? There's always good news at the end of the day. There's always ways we can support and counterbalance. So here are some things. You can look for hormone-free meat and organic dairy products when possible. Okay, eat local and organic produce when possible. Use a water filter, like I said. Use fragrance-free beauty products made from natural ingredients. And of course, doTERRA has beautiful, beautiful products that we can use. Rethink your household cleaning products. They're so easy to make. You can make your own products in less than 5 minutes. Okay, doTERRA has some amazing things for us that we can use. Our On Guard Cleaner Concentrate, I use that stuff for everything. Okay, but if you don't have that on hand, vinegar, baking soda, castile soap, those are your three basic things you need for green cleaning. And then incorporate more phytoestrogens into your day. Okay, so let's look at some symptoms of imbalanced hormones. I just want to say here, ladies, you don't have to suffer every month with your cycle. All of the following symptoms are not normal, but we've come to accept them because so many women struggle with them. Okay, I don't want you to feel different by me telling you they're not normal. My point is that we're not supposed to feel these things, but because our hormones are out of balance, we do. And because so many of us struggle, we think it's part of our regular cycle. Okay, hope that makes sense. Okay, so heavy, irregular, or painful periods. Number 1. Number 2, hot flashes and night sweats. Number 3, breast tenderness, indigestion, constipation, increased hair growth on the face, neck, chest, or back, weight gain. Okay. I think if you have a hormone imbalance, you don't need this list, but aren't you tired of struggling? Let's look at some more things that we can do. Okay, we're going to come back to this. A well-balanced diet that includes enough complex carbs, protein, and healthy fats. Daily intentional movement. Now, I did say I was going to talk about this a little bit more. So when it comes to moving your body, my rule of thumb is to move your body an additional 30 minutes a day to whatever you're already doing. Now, if you're a naturally very active person, maybe this isn't a struggle for you and you're like, check, done, did it. But for somebody who maybe doesn't like going to the gym, doesn't focus on intentional movement every day, this is an area to work on because it is important that we move our body. It's part of natural healthy living. Okay. Stress management, again, underline, highlight, and star this one. So many of us are chronically stressed and it's wreaking havoc on our bodies and our minds. Okay. We need to work on that. And then proper rest. So average here is 7 to 9 hours a night. So ask yourself, how much are you sleeping? And then reducing your toxic load. And we just talked about that with the xenoestrogens. Okay. Okay. So are you feeling information overload? Probably at this point. I've been talking really fast and I've been giving you a lot of information. So where to start is really up to you. This is your health journey. It's not up to us to tell you what to do, but I'm going to give you some tips. So how ready are you to make changes? That's the first thing you need to decide. How ready are you? And here's a question that I love posing. If nothing changes in the next 5 years, where will you be? And how will you be feeling? Okay, so think about that as we go through this here. I'm going to be giving you 2 protocols to choose from in a minute. But before I do that, it's imperative that we look at your lifestyle because that will be key in your wellness journey. We simply cannot out oil and out supplement a mediocre lifestyle. Wellness encompasses physical health, mental health, and spiritual health. And that's how we must approach our wellness protocols. Okay. So I want you to look at this wellness pyramid on your screen. We're going to go through this step by step. We're going to work from the bottom up, and I want you to rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10. 1 being SOS, I need help now. 10 being I'm confident I'm doing well here. Okay, so our foundation, as I've mentioned repeatedly, is eating right. Now, before you score yourself here, let's consider your entire day. How many meals and snacks are you eating a day? Does your plate have the colors of the rainbow on it? Are you including fresh fruits and veggies with all of your meals? Are you eating enough protein with each meal? Are your snacks balanced? Are you drinking enough water every single day? All of this needs to be considered in this category. Okay, so take a second to be honest. None of us are going to see your answers, but this is for you. This will help you decide where you need to focus your attention. Okay, second point is exercise. And again, I call this intentional movement. I have a lot of failed attempts at exercise. So for me, calling it movement makes me excited to do it. Whatever you have to do to incorporate more exercise or movement into your day, whatever you have to call it, just call it that. Okay, so again, I want to mention here, if you're struggling with your hormones, doing intense cardio may be causing you more harm than good. So just keep that in mind. We definitely, cardio definitely has a place in your lifestyle, but for me personally, I think of that more for your maintenance stage of your healing process or your wellness journey, okay? While you're in your therapeutic phase, which is your wellness journey, the beginning stages, you may want to consider doing more gentle exercise like yoga, walking, aquafit, things like that, although we probably can't do aquafit right now. Okay, the third level here, we're going to break into 2 categories, okay? It's rest and manage stress, and we're going to look at each of these separately. So give yourself a score for rest. Are you getting 7 to 9 hours of uninterrupted sleep per night? Now, if you have a new baby at home, obviously you're not getting 7 to 9 hours of uninterrupted sleep. But if you don't have a baby and you don't have young kids, how are you doing with your sleep? Okay, and then the same thing for stress. Are you stressed on a daily basis? What would you score yourself from 1 to 10? This little exercise is just meant to bring awareness. Okay, again, we're not judging anyone. We're not shaming anyone. It's really just meant to open your eyes to your current lifestyle. And then the next one is reducing your toxic load. We just went through the list of xenoestrogens. How many of those categories are relevant to you? Are you buying your beauty and skincare products from the drugstore? Do you know their EWG rating? Do you know what EWG is? It's the Environmental Working Group, and they have a database of brands and ingredients that you can look up. It's a little tedious to have to punch in all of the ingredients. But again, when you're on a wellness journey, when you're looking to feel your best, we have to commit a little bit of time. So if you go to ewg.org/skin-deep, okay, you can look up your beauty care products and see how they rate. Anything above a 3 is something you probably shouldn't be using, at least not on a daily basis. Okay, now here to think about your drinking water. Are you drinking tap water? Again, buying a water filter these days isn't that expensive, and the benefits are so huge. Do you have scented candles in your home? It's another one, right? Are you bringing air fragrances, air fresheners, scented candles, plugins? All of those things bring toxins into your home, which all affect your hormonal balance. Okay, so give yourself a score from 1 to 10, and then informed self-care. You're taking charge of or are you taking charge of your health? Are you being your own best advocate? Are you standing up for yourself? You're here today, so you're already taking that one big step. But how often are you doing that? So give yourself a score here as well. And then proactive medical care is just as important as all of the other things, because you need to know what you're dealing with. Our role as wellness advocates is not to give you a diagnosis. Even if we may have an inkling of an idea of what you're dealing with, it's not up to us to tell you what you have or don't have. We're not qualified for that, okay? So you need to seek out medical care. And proactive means you're working on preventative. So maybe you're going for your annual physical, regular blood work, all of those things to keep track of how you're doing. And I actually do recommend, before you start a wellness plan, that you get some baseline scores of your blood work, because then you can see the change that you've made. Okay, so now that you have your scores, you have a better idea of where you need to focus your attention, not intention. And maybe it's becoming clearer where your imbalances stem from, maybe. Using your scores, we can help you design a custom therapeutic plan that supports each of these areas, which will in turn support your hormonal health. Okay, does that make sense? So let's look at the 2 protocols I've come up with. And these are not the end all be all. These are my best 2 protocols that I came up with that are very generic, okay? Again, we can help you customize this. Plan A is for you if you're at the point where you know in your heart of hearts that something's got to give. You're sick and tired of riding the hormonal roller coaster and dealing with the side effects, and you're ready to do what it takes to feel better sooner than later. You understand that your therapeutic phase will be 30 to 90 days, or maybe even longer. Remember, it all depends on how long you've been dealing with this and how committed you are to your plan. Consistency is going to be key no matter what you do. So this is actually our 30-day cleanse and restore program that doTERRA outlines for us. It includes a wide range of supplements and essential oils that support your entire body. Again, you'll be using these products alongside a balanced nutrition and lifestyle plan. So let me break down a few of these products really quickly. The main product there is our Lifelong Vitality Pack. This should be a staple part of any woman and men's healthy hormone routine. Everybody should be taking this one. This should be a staple product. Consider this for a second. Your body is on a budget. In order to meet all of the demands, we need to make more deposits, which includes your diet, and the Microplex VMZ, that's part of the Lifelong Vitality, will help to fill any nutritional gaps. This is what I love about this system. First of all 3 bottles work synergistically together. Each one makes the other one function better, okay? It fills your nutritional gaps, which is so important. We also need essential fatty acids to make healthy hormones, which are found in our Egg Omega, which is part of this pack. And then our alpha CRS is rich in antioxidants, including pomegranate, which supports normal management of xenoestrogen detoxification. Okay, lots of big words there for me. Okay, then we have our Terrazyme, which is our digestive enzyme, which is super important for your digestion and absorption. If you feel bloated often, you're going to love this product. And then we have our PB Assist Plus, which is our probiotic. Now, the rest of the products here are for cleansing and detoxifying and repairing. And if you, sorry, not if you, when you go with this plan, I will also provide you with a nutritional guide that you can use to work hand in hand with this. Okay. All right. Plan B. And this is my second plan for you. And this one includes less products and is geared towards you if you're not quite ready for the entire cleanse and restore, but you do want to get started. You understand that taking this route may take longer to see results, but you're in this for the long haul. You know it's going to take some time. So this plan also goes hand in hand again with proper nutrition and a positive lifestyle. This plan will include the lifelong vitality. Again, this has to be a staple, okay? It includes lemon for cleansing, smart and sassy for metabolic and blood sugar support, and zendocrine for your liver and kidneys and natural detoxification. Okay, so if you're not sure which plan is right for you, again, talk to us. Let us guide you on this journey. And then I've also put our plus here. This is an add-on plan for your plan B or for your maintenance. We've already talked about the benefits of phytoestrogens and why they're so important for our health and balancing estrogen. This complex also supports healthy bones, heart, and breast tissue, and works in synergy with the bone nutrient complex. doTERRA is so brilliant when they design their stuff. Not only does our lifelong vitality work together, this two-step system also does. Each one makes the other one work better, which I think is fabulous. Our bone nutrient complex provides optimal levels of vitamins and minerals that are essential for developing and maintaining healthy bone mass and density. Okay, and it also supports our overall health. This one actually has vitamin D in it as well, which is so important for our Canadian winters. And then you see the Claricom, which is a blend that supports our reproductive system. It has clary sage, lavender, bergamot, and some other fabulous oils in it. And I'm going to show you what I do with this one. I call this the hormone bomb. I love Claricom. I've been using this one for 5 years. It was one of my first post-kit purchases. I see Karen has hers out. I used to only use this one around my cycle. I'd use it for a day or two and then put it away until the next month. But I've recently been starting to experience some, what I call perimenopausal symptoms, which I don't like. So I've pulled out my Claricom and I started using it every single day. And then I thought to myself, I wonder if I can make this, I don't want to say even better, but I wonder if I can supercharge this, it's my favorite word, and help support not only my hormones, but also cortisol. Well, cortisol is a hormone, but specifically help with cortisol. Cortisol, if you have extra weight in your midsection, it's very likely that you have a cortisol imbalance. So I've added zendocrine, frankincense, DDR prime, and copaiba for that reason to this blend. Okay, and what I did was I had a bottle that was 3/4 of the way empty, the Claricom, and I added 20 drops of each of these oils to it. Now, if your bottle of Claricom is pretty full, you can open it up, take a pipette, take out 20 drops, add it to an empty roller bottle, add the rest of these oils, and top it up with fractionated coconut oil. And this is something that I consistently use every single day, 2 times a day. I use it in the morning and at night. And I have to tell you, I've been doing this for about 2 months. My cycle has completely changed. I think last month, I didn't even realize it was coming, which, I mean, if I looked at the date on the calendar, I should know, but I had none of the warning signs. I didn't have any breast tenderness. I didn't have any cramping, no mood swings, which is huge. So I know it's doing something. So that made me super happy. And I wanted to share that with you today. You can absolutely use Claricom by itself. You don't have to turbo boost it like I did, but if you have these oils, why not try it? And then I want to end on this note. I wanted to include this because just this week, I've had 2 ladies in my bigger network announce that they've recently been diagnosed with breast cancer. And I'm not saying this is going to prevent anything, excuse me, but why not add this into your monthly routine? So I think this is, oh yeah, you do this every 2 to 4, you do it 2 to 4 times a year. So you don't even have to do it monthly, but you do it 1 month at a time. Use frankincense, grapefruit, pink pepper, 4 drops of each with fractionated coconut oil, and you just massage it into your breasts. And this is supposed to help a healthy detox. I'm assuming it works with your lymphatic system and helps to just flush things around, okay? I wanted to give that to you because I feel like it's part of women's health, and I felt like it was a sign this week that just this week, these 2 announcements came and I wanted to make sure that I include this. So with that, we are at the question and answer period. So I saw some flashing in the chat. So I'm going to go there let me stop my screen share first of all. Okay, perfect. Chat is now here. I froze for a bit. Okay. Okay, so Karen wrote, I have been using Clary Calm as my natural perfume daily. It smells heavenly and does the job for my postmenopause. My daughter uses it as well to help with her monthly mood and cramping. Yeah, absolutely. It is fabulous. So I just want to add to Clary Calm, the way it comes is undiluted. Now, if you find the aroma is overpowering, you can absolutely split it up. For me, it used to be, I love it now, but in the beginning, I was like, wow, you can smell that from a mile away. Another thing I want to mention, because it is undiluted, less is more. So if you're applying it to your abdomen, just do one swipe across. Don't do squiggly lines. Don't draw happy faces, just one line, okay? You don't want to overdo it because then you're having the opposite effect again. One swipe. If you're using it on your wrists, one roll. You know, you don't have to use too much. But again, you can dilute it in other roller bottles. You can split it up. Okay, does anybody have any questions for me? I'm just going to pop into the Facebook stream and see if anybody over there has posted anything. No, we're good. Okay, so I did have one question that came up ahead of time, and it was, I've recently been experiencing cold, dizziness, or feeling cold, dizziness, headaches before my period. This is something new. Can I say what that might be? So I can't diagnose you. What I can tell you is listen to this presentation and you'll get some really great tips. It's definitely something to do with your lifestyle, your hormones. I would look at any changes in stress levels over the past little while. I would look at your nutrition leading up to your cycle. So things you could do preventatively, because that was the second part of the question, is focus on your nutrition, your stress, your sleep before your cycle. You know, obviously always focus on those things, but especially like a week leading up to it. If you know when your cycle is due to start 1 week earlier. Make sure your diet is balanced, get adequate sleep, control your stress as much as you can. Okay. Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to stop the live stream. If anybody has any questions that come up afterwards, just type them into the comments on Facebook and I'll come visit. I'll pop in to see if I can give you some answers. Okay, bye everyone.